Welcome from Munich, where you can see we have here a mini PC on a beamer. It looks like an external battery or some kind of just optical disk drive, but it's really the Ainol mini PC. I've already shown you guys the unboxing, what you will find inside the box, which is not too much. It's a cable for, of course, just powering it up. You can see it here. I don't even have it plugged in, since the only thing that is plugged in right now in the Ainol mini PC is actually here the HDMI cable that is going into the beamer right here, and my keyboard mouse combo by Repu, which costs around 20 bucks. So you can buy that, or what I actually recommend to you guys is getting a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse, because then you can use the full 2 USB ports on the front for an external hard drive or anything else that you want to plug in. Now, Ainol and actually GearBest, thank you for GearBest for sending this to me for testing, is telling us that we can only use it with up to 64 gigs of micro SD card storage. The ports you have already seen in my unboxing, so it's not too bad. It's everything dark is right now, but we have here micro SD card storage, where I put in actually a 128 gig micro SD by SanDisk. You can see it here. This is right now inside. It's missing right here, and I've opened up the Explorer so you guys can also see that when I zoom in and go a little bit to the top, you can see here right there is a 128 gig micro SD which I can open up, and then there is an Office data on here which I could just open up. So that's quite amazing. So you can maybe even use it with a 200 gig micro SD and even more, not only 64 gig like actually Ainol was expecting it, which is quite awesome. But before we go into the full testing, showing you guys the benchmark results and some gaming and some browsing, what I will do is completely turn off the device, since Ainol is actually telling us that it can start up in 10 seconds. So what I will do is say restart, and then we will count up from the moment when we see first the Ainol logo here when the device is starting up. So restarting means it's completely booting down and then booting up again. My beamer is of course starting to look here for the signal, so that's the spot where you should start counting. And then you can see here at minute 2:21, I would say that it's starting up. And if Ainol is not cheating, it should take around 10 seconds. Now we are at 14 seconds, 15 seconds, 16 seconds, 17 seconds, and here we go. I can just log in. If you don't have a login screen, then you would be already in, and in 20 seconds you can be right away on your desktop. So that's really quite awesome here by Ainol. But of course we have SSD storage inside, or just eMMC storage, so that means flash storage is always faster than a hard drive or anything like that. Still, in 10 to 20 seconds being in the Windows right away is quite awesome. So your Windows might look like this, Windows 8.1 here with all the things that you can see here. As you can see, I have a few benchmarks here running, a game for example, and other things. So what I will do is just open up a benchmark so you guys can see my results that are here on the bottom: the GPU test, RAM test, CPU test, disk test. For the geeks out there, you can see the numbers now here in 4K. I guess I can just read them to you also. 630, 552, here on multi-thread 112, and here on 4K we have 7 and 8 for the discrete test and write test. So again, let's just go out to the other benchmarks, like 3D Mark, which is actually the 3D Mark RT. I'm sorry for that, but I think this is comparable actually rather to a tablet or smartphone. That's why I have this one open. I just have to go here to my device so you guys can see I've run the Ice Storm Unlimited test. And then the score was, or is, 13,664, which is an alright score. When we go into the device channel, you will see that other smartphones have, for example, or tablets. Here the Z4 tablet has 24,000. I don't know why it's gone right now. Actually, here we go. I can scroll down a little bit, so we go to the 13,000 category, where you will see that a little bit older smartphones, like for example the LG G Pro 2, have 16,000, which is a year old. LG G2 or G3 has also 15,000. So the hardware inside this Ainol mini PC is around 1 to 2 years old. I would say rather 2 years old when it comes to gaming at least. So you can see also the Z3735F inside, which we have here in the Tolino tab. This is 14,000, and that's actually what we have also inside here, this nice little box, which I can also show you by just hitting the Windows and pause button. It says it right here, Z3735F with 2 gigs of RAM, 32-bit Windows 8 running, and otherwise the full Windows 8.1 legal version. And what's awesome about this with Bing version here, you can see it here that we have all the features. You can just install your own browser also and then use Google, so you don't have to worry that you only have to use Bing. And you can also use Office 365 for a full year for free. So if you open up an Office Excel, Doc, or whatever PowerPoint, it will tell you that this device includes Office 365. You just have to activate it by Monday 2016, and if you hit activate, then it will open up your browser. In my case it would be Chrome, but since I installed it, and then you just have to log in with your Microsoft account, which I did actually in the beginning also. You guys have seen that, and then you can see that we have 1 terabyte of free Microsoft Office storage and a whole year of Office 365 also. Since we have the Chrome browser already open, let's open up just a few sites, like for example the New York Times. Let me open up my Hungarian site. Let me open up, for example, something like TheVerge.com and maybe YouTube. So we have a few tabs open, so you guys can see that the performance is quite alright here with this tablet. So here, for example, New York Times, it's already running. And one more thing before we continue here, let me actually open or go here back to the desktop and show you guys that here the Wi-Fi, just one line, which is really quite weak of a signal, but still it's working, but only with 2.4 gigahertz. 5 gigahertz networks are not supported, but there's also Bluetooth inside, so that's again quite good. Let's leave the benchmark there. And here back to the New York Times website, it's already running here. I can just scroll through here, nothing is really slow. I can just open up something like here Comic-Con and go to the next site, like for example my Hungarian site, which is a responsive site, as you can see, also running quite nicely with a lot of flash, of course. Then The Verge, also quite heavy site actually for any PC, but still you can see that it's running also quite nice, loading up a few pictures here quite quickly over my Wi-Fi. 3G, of course, not inside of this little device, would be maybe also nice, but you have of course your standard USB 3G dongles, we can use it with that. And then we have here our YouTube, where I could say, for example, we want to watch, oops, I'm sorry, I'm always hitting accidentally a button here on my keyboard. I can do anything I want here on my YouTube channel. So like for example, we could watch TED 2 trailer. You can see typing also goes quite quickly. Maybe the official restricted trailer. And I have to sign in to watch that. So let's just go back and maybe just watch the official trailer. That shouldn't be restricted. Here in Under HD I can select, for example, that I want Full HD. Go to full screen. Let it load a little bit here on the bottom so it doesn't stutter for you guys because of the processor, just maybe because of my internet. So let's just load a few seconds here on the bottom, and then we can check out really that it's playing Full HD, but there seems to be a little bit of lagging inside. So now my Wi-Fi was again a little bit slow, but you guys were able to see a little bit that it plays Full HD, but not the best, at least from YouTube. From locally, it works also quite well, but I would definitely suggest watching rather 720p videos, even though this beamer is 720p. Now again, sorry for the whole flickering of the screen. This is of course just my camera and the beamer in interference. What I can also show you guys now, since the browsing is working quite nice, is of course a little bit of gaming. Let's start here Jetpack Joyride, and then also what we can do is just go a little bit into the settings. Actually, there's no settings for the Ainol since it's just running Windows. So I've actually shown you most of the content I want to show you. So again, you can see older games running quite nicely, or not that graphic intensive games run quite nice, but something like the latest GTA or anything like that will not run, but the first Counter-Strike or Unreal Tournament or anything that's old like that will run quite nicely. Now, I think the image quality for you guys is quite annoying right now, so let me just die here. And then let's go back out here, and I actually forgot one benchmark I haven't shown you guys, which gives actually the most information, is the GFX Bench DirectX. Took quite a while for this benchmark to run through, but was worth it because we got a lot of data. Just go here to results, and you can see here some data, or we can read it in 4K, otherwise off screen it got 300 or 849 here points on actually 15 frames and 7 frames and 5 frames, so it's quite slow with the 3D things, but otherwise 30 frames and everything else here is alright. So comparable, it's really quite slow. It says 300 frames here in comparison, which is compared to GTX 980, which is the fastest graphics card right now out there, quite little with 37,000, but we can go to the end of the list here, and then you will see that it's comparable with the 520M, for example, by NVIDIA, which is I think now 4 or 5 years old. But of course, as I said, this little box is not meant for gaming, so you can see here, for example, an AMD Radeon 5400 series got 500 points. In the 300 points area, we are around 7,310 and so on. So what this is quite good for is just here browsing in the web, doing some office work, light gaming, and really just having something on the go for you guys, where you can, for example, also just use it as an external battery. Even though it's not plugged into power, I can just take here my smartphone, for example, plug it in, and it will start charging, for example. You can do the same thing with your tablet or anything else, but of course only over USB 2.0 on the front. So check out my unboxing video also to see all the ports. Otherwise, check out the link on the bottom for gearbest.com, the Chinese online shop, which will ship this little fella to you for $100 in just a week. So, thank you much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. This was the Ainol mini PC. Thank you much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. My name is Balazs, and until next time, peace and again.